Welcome to Riffs on Writing with Andy and Caroline, where we talk about your writing and publishing questions in 10 minutes or less.
It's like speed dating, but better. Um, Today we're talking about how you get an agent or a publisher. I think the first thing to say is most publishers require you have an agent.
Yes.
Not all, but most.
Yeah.
And the big ones, the ones that give us the advances we really want, they all require agents.
Yeah.
So there are not a lot of quick workarounds here. You can't just send stuff to a publisher and they're going to find it and just magically publish you. So that's the first thing.
I really wish that were true, and that would be a very short session if that was true. Unfortunately, it actually does take a lot of work. So it doesn't matter if you are going for a smaller traditional publisher or an agent, you're still going to need roughly the same material, which means that you need a stellar query letter. And there is only one job that a query letter does, and that is for them to open it and go, I want to know more. And then you need the supporting material. So if you're writing fiction, you're going to need an amazing synopsis. And if you're writing nonfiction, and this includes memoir, you're going to need a proposal, which is a marketing plan / business plan. And for fiction, you're going to need to have a completed book. For memoir, you're going to need a completed book. And for straight nonfiction, so I don't know, how to prune trees, you don't need a full completed book. You can sell that on proposal.
Right. And that whenever we talk with people about this, there's always somebody that says, but I heard this story about so-and-so that didn't have a proposal or didn't finish their manuscript. And yeah, okay, there's exceptions to every rule, but
don't think you're going to be that exception.
You might not be that exception. So, yeah, and one of the things that we do as a press is we help people get those synopses and proposals and query letters up to snuff, right? And the thing is that there are just some rules you follow for them. Like there's a format, and you need to have it be the way they expect to see it. It's like writing, if you've written a grant proposal for a foundation, you don't like wing it, because they're going to look pound for pound compare the options, right? So you need to have them see exactly what you're doing and exactly the way they expect it, because they're getting so many. Any excuse to not read it is a good excuse, right? So they'll just toss it.
Yeah, and even some places have a form that you fill out rather than just doing this over email. But if you actually look at the form, you'll see that parts of your proposal or the synopsis or the query letter fit beautifully into those forms. So even if it's called something a little bit different, that's probably just the form. You're still sticking to what you need for your particular genre. And so, but that's great. So now that, you have all of that, well, how do you find these people? You can use Google, but that's going to take you a whole lot of time, and it will be very painful. There are a few sites that are fantastic. If you are looking to find someone in Europe, there's Jericho Writers, which is great. And they actually do cover North American agents and publishers as well. But they're they're another resource. Like I would look for them if you're looking for somebody in Europe. And I should add, because we will probably have some Canadian viewers who are thinking that they just have to look at Canadian agents. No, you don't. And please don't, because in Canada, for example, we have a lot less agents than in the US, and there's absolutely no reason not to go to a US agent. It will open up a whole extra world for you that a Canadian one might not be able to. And also, that being said, for example, my book is set in Europe. It's a memoir, and I am also looking at agents in the UK because they will have knowledge of the area. So it's fine to do that. You don't have to just stick to one person. And there's a lot of mixed information out there, but I would say like an agent's an agent, and a good agent will have connections, and that's what you're really using them for, their connections. That's and right. Because they're awesome and they champion your work. But The other places, manuscript wish list. That's a great place to look. And manuscript wish list, you can actually buy time with an agent. So it's like $40 or so. Don't quote me on the price, please. But you can buy time with an agent and just talk to them and ask them questions, which is also very valuable. There's Query Manager, Query Tracker, places. There's Publishers Marketplace, which is a fantastic place. It's like that's a very official database of all the agents and publishers. I would say if you're actually seriously querying, it's 25 USD a month. Buy it for a few months and just see, because you can take all the information you want. You don't have to commit to it forever, but that's a great one. I think Query Manager, I just bought it, and I get a weekly email from them that tells me of all the new agents that have, like all the agents that have reopened and what they're looking for. I get this list, $25 a year. And it tracks my queries. If the agent is using them for submissions, it tracks it as well.
That's nice.
There's Duotrope, Submittable. Those are the, I know I'm missing one and someone's going to blast me for it. Agent Query. There's a few more. And those are all great places to start that search.
Yeah. And I would say too, like if you have read a book and are like, the person that represents this book is going to like my book, put that agent on your list. Like, I mean, and do your homework, right? Don't submit to people that aren't accepting. Don't submit to people that are not taking your genre. Don't submit to people that only publish poetry and you wrote a memoir. You know, be smart.
Yeah.
Think about it like a job application.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just apply that way. But if you have books that you love or resonate with your book, or books that are comps of yours in that proposal that you're going to write, look the agents up for those. Often those agents are mentioned in acknowledgments.
I was going to say, you can often they're thanking the agent, and also Query Manager has the agent search. It doesn't I find it doesn't always work, but it's they have a section that says who reps whom. So you just write the book and it'll say who repped this person. And you can actually look that up on Publishers Marketplace too, to find out who repped a book if you're not sure, or if for some reason the author didn't thank the agent, in which case, I don't know, author needs a little slap on the hand for that. But those are the ways to find them. And the best thing to do is set up either a spreadsheet or a separate document, write down when you queried them, because sometimes they say, look, if I don't answer in 2 months, go query somebody else, assume it's a no. Some small publishers, traditional publishers, need like a year to look at your book. You know, keep track of that because you will forget. And I don't know. I think that's.
Yeah. I mean, and I would say too, like, don't think you can't query 180,000 agents at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it will take you more than your lifetime if you go one at a time out to agents.
Oh, yeah.
So send them out. And I mean, and there are going to be agents. Sorry, my little dog is barking in the background because she's dreaming. But there are going to be agents who are still very old school and want everything on paper. And that's you. Then you just use your best judgment. If that's an agent you would love to work with, then it's probably worth paper and ink and postage. If they're not, then maybe put them on a tier later and go to some other people. But you got to be really pragmatic about this process and not precious. Like you can't sit around feeling like, oh, this is the best art made in the entire world. It doesn't work like that. No. It really is like applying for a job. So,
it really is. Don't take it personally. Keep going. Do not give up. And good luck in your journey.
Yeah. Good luck. Let us know if we can help too.
That's right. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us or just leave your question in the comments.